Drop the bass with the part two tip. Come take a trip to the way I rock the left. Man, this is on the mic and I'm rolling. The bass magic is controlling. It'll work that way, so let me see you sway. Because the room with the boomers when you're on the stage. Yo, Michael, let's rock this place. I think it's time you drop that bass.
What's going on, everybody? Super Mike in the house. Like and share.
Drop the bass is what we're here to do. And by the time we're through, we're gonna shake loose every screw. So roll and roll. Like Rockham said, I know you got soul. Since you can dance to this with these, go pick a fly girl that you want to skis. Like the one with the nipple short through the lace. Work that bottle and we drop the bass. Yo, Mike, how do you feel about those suckers trying to rock it like you, my brother? Cause it just ain't kicking. Go ahead with your life and stop wishing to be what you're not. You weren't meant to rock, you were meant to jock. So get on your job and move to the quad. And if you wonder why it hits so hard, go ask Mike, he's the musical A-set to prove that point is gonna drop the bass.
You're rocking.
Yeah, what's going on? This is Super Mike 2164. Everybody get ready. We're going to have an open show. And we're going to talk about a variety of subjects. Yeah. Get a little exercise. Get your spirits up. Proper energy. Says Drop the Bass by DJ Magic Mike.
How do you feel about drop? Can you rock when the bass just doesn't stop? Like the song you hear with the thick bass start to vibrate your ear? I know you like it, don't try and fight it. Feel the rhythm is give and ride it. Choose the next plateau.
All right, y'all, yeah. Yep. This is Mike. We here. We here. We gonna get it.
Bang the heads while they worship the devil. They're going out on the crazy tip. I don't see how they can even dance it. I think they need another taste of how good it can get when you drop that bass.
I'm going to share this show, so hold on a second. We're going to start in momentarily. What's going on, everybody? Go ahead, let me know that you're in. Let me know that you're ready to begin. Go ahead, share the show to your friend. Oh, man, that rhymes. Anyway, yeah, so like I said, we're going to talk about a variety of subjects. This will be an open show, so you'll be able to come up here and let everybody know.
Why don't you get on the 12s and show the party people what time it is?
You want me to get on them, man?
Right about now.
All right, here we go.
Yo, Mike, get loose. Yo, Mike, get loose. Yo, Mike, get loose now.
What's up, everybody? This is Super Mike 2164. We're just trying to come in with a little high energy. What's going on? This show, we're going to have a variety of subjects that we're dealing with in this period of time, because guess what? We had a whirlwind week. We had Roe versus Wade. So Roe versus Wade. So this is what we're dealing with, Roe versus Wade. And with Roe versus Wade, that's a Democrat thing, right? So that is, being able to kill your kid, abortion, being able to do that on demand whenever you want to. That's it's always been a controversial subject. And that's part of what we're going to get with, because this Supreme Court told everybody that we're going to stop that. And we want to know what do you think? Because the Roe versus Wade thing, that's a big deal. You got low population numbers, especially in the Aryans. To me, you combining that with the eugenics movement. Maybe they thought they was going to be able to kill a certain population, that it just didn't work that way. So then we're going to be dealing with Dave Chappelle, on stage. Of course, he got attacked. Dave Chappelle got attacked on stage. And this dude who came up on stage with Dave Chappelle, this is what this man had. He had a knife gun. I don't even know if he pulled that little thing. That thing looked like it was a toy or something, a little bitty, but I guess it can cut you up, can't it? It looked like somebody just made that thing. So of course, Kevin Samuels died. Lord God, and the thing is too, when they say somebody have a heart attack, but that's it, how did they have a heart attack? At 56 years old? Something's wrong. But, you can say you had a heart attack and people just think, oh, well, it is what it is. People have heart attacks every day. But, upon further investigation, upon further release of the information, we see that he was with somebody. So we'll probably get into that a little bit. Like I said, the Roe versus Wade thing. We got Bill Gates and Epstein and them, and Elon Musk beefing. Oh no, this is a question that we're gonna get into here. But yeah, Bill Gates, Epstein, they beefing. And then everybody, y'all probably got something y'all want to say too. So we're gonna be just talking, and whoever comes up, then we'll see what's up. This is a question that's interesting. This sister said, this guy told me he wants to have a daughter first because girls tend to be more caring. So, that's a topic that we can probably touch on. And then, of course, we want to keep it serious. Sometimes we got the international tip, the community linking, the CIA guys and stuff, they leaking information about this Ukraine war because it looks like they having an issue with it. Looks like some of these people are having an issue with the way this Ukraine war and resources are being given over to this other country. So maybe we might touch on that. But over there, and the first thing we want to do over here in Philadelphia, this is a black cop, Idrisol Mendoza. Let's read this here. Let's get into this one first. I want to get into this one. So, Idrisol Mendoza.
Charged with first-degree murder, third-degree murder, voluntary manslaughter charges.
The Philadelphia District Attorney announcing former Philly police officer Edsol Mendoza has been arrested for the shooting death of 12-year-old Thomas Sedario. The shooting happening on March 1st in South Philly, when Mendoza and 3 other officers were shot at while conducting an undercover operation in plain clothes and inside an unmarked car. Investigators believe TJ was the shooter, but might not have known he shot at an undercover officer.
When the child fired the gun, that immediately caused 3 officers to take cover, and police officer Mendoza began what can be fairly called a tactically unsound foot chase of the 12-year-old.
The district attorney says TJ had dropped the gun about 40 feet back from where he either fell to the ground or got down voluntarily. The DA saying Mendoza shot TJ, who was unarmed from about a half a car length away.
When Officer Mendoza fired the third and fatal shot, he knew the 12-year-old, 5 foot tall, 111-pound Thomas Siderio no longer had a gun and no ability to harm him. But he fired a shot through his back, nonetheless, that killed him.
An attorney for TJ's mother just learning about the new details in the case.
It's so painful to learn today that he was lying down, face into the sidewalk, trying to look back, and he was shot in cold blood and executed.
It's painful, huh? Listen to that. They're going to charge this man with murder. See, Black Cop.
Ready to style in just one
Hold
step.
on.
Introducing new Tresemme One
Shut
Step
up.
Stylers.
We don't want to hear this. We don't want to hear that. But Black Cop, let's look at this here, Black Cop. Brother. What are we doing here? You can't be shooting people. See, you know, y'all start off being in the police and y'all think y'all equal. And these are the people who swallow that crap. They believe this stuff. And hold on 1 second before I even go on. Like I said, guys, if y'all want to come up, here is the link. This is the link. Just hit this link over here on Facebook. We're going to put the link on Facebook. We're streaming on YouTube and we're streaming on Twitch. Let me go, and on Facebook. So let me go over here on Facebook. And on Facebook, we will put the link as well. You hit that link, and then you can come up on this show. So that's what we're going to do here. But no. This man here, what did this man think? What was he thinking? What was this man thinking? He's going to sit there and shoot the white boy in the back because he is a high energy situation, I guess. High energy situation. He decides to just go ahead and I guess just shoot the boy in the back because the boy, I guess they shot at him first. Here we go. You know, in his mind, he thought he was going to get away with it. Immediately, this man is charged with murder, second-degree murder, first-degree murder. I'm going to read this real quick. We're going to get into this just a second here. Let me see here. Hold on. Sorry. Let's get this off. And let's share this here. Sorry. All right. Hold on. Here it is. So the former Philadelphia, see, notice how the media is lockstep. See, this is why you know there's racism going on. This is why we don't play around. As soon as the black cop do something wrong, you fire before the bullet hit the back. You fire before, as soon as you start running. You ain't no police officer no more. Right away, the news media says, the former Philadelphia police officer who fatally shot a 12-year-old boy in March, a 12-year-old who shot at him with a real gun, okay, and dropped that gun while he was running away, of course, which is wrong. Don't shoot somebody. But he had that gun, okay? But at the same time, the officer who shot Tamir Rice with a toy gun in a park, who never shot at him, this man is literally working right now as we speak. All right. So the former Philadelphia police officer who fatally shot a 12-year-old boy in March has been charged with murder. Philadelphia District Attorney Larry Krasner said Monday. Idasol Mendoza, 26, was charged by a grand jury with first-degree murder. And Mendoza, you know, maybe he was coming from an immigrant family and he didn't believe anything that the Black Americans were telling him about racism. All right. So this man was charged with murder, third-degree murder, first-degree murder, third-degree murder, voluntary manslaughter, and possession of an instrument of crime in the fatal shooting of Thomas T.J. Siderio on March 1st, Krasner said at a news conference. Notice they're not worried about overcharging. They're not scared to overcharge this police officer because guess what he is? He's a former. They fired him immediately. No red tape, no protesting, none of that. So we need to understand whose system this is. They're putting you in your place without flat out telling you. And a lot of y'all find this hard to believe and understand. A lot of y'all find this hard to believe and understand. What's going on, sis? What's going on, sis? Divide? Yep. And this is what we're doing here. This is what's happening. I mean, how many times this got to happen for enough of us to understand that we have to build our own systems? How you do that? Unfortunately, for some of y'all going to have to start learning how to love Black people, which means you're going to have to start learning how to love yourself. The only way to be, if you're, especially as a Black person, for survival, you're going to have to be pro-Black. Now, do you have to be Umar Johnson? No. Do you have to be those nutcases that spend all day on the street debating with each other? No. Okay. Pro-Blackness is not buffoonery. I mean, those guys can do what they do too. Every community is going to have some questionable folks. You know, that's part of it. But you're going to have to learn to, stop pretending that this stuff doesn't exist. Racism exists. Mendoza is charged with murder, first-degree murder, third-degree murder, voluntary manslaughter, and possession of an instrument. What it says? Possession of an instrument of a crime. Possession of an instrument of a crime in the fatal shooting of Thomas T.J. Siderio. He is not even a police officer. He is a former Philadelphia police officer. So that tells us that even before this man goes to court, he got fired right away. But, there's no racism, right? We tripping. And we find it hard to believe there's racism. Okay, we got brother Leroy up here. What's up, bro? What's going on?
What's going on, Doc?
What's up?
Man, I heard you getting live with that magic mic.
That's right. Got to get everybody hyped. We got to start off with a nice little vibe so everybody understands. We got to kind of wake up and, do what we do. But no, they haven't even really heard. We haven't even heard about this story, right? With this police.
Some things they keep close to the vest, like what happened to that Black cop who killed that Australian lady out there in Minnesota before it went down with George Floyd.
Exactly. And you see how quickly they move. You see how fast they move on these people, right?
Oh yeah, they don't waste any time. They gave old boy out there in Minnesota his 12 years quick, but they're gonna turn right around and use that because they didn't change his status. We'll just go with that word. I think he's looking at a reduced sentence, but they're gonna turn right around and use that for Chauvin.
Yeah. See, that's the only reason why they did that. The only reason why the black cop in Philadelphia, and keep in mind, these are people. A lot of times, unfortunately, a lot of people from different countries, because they don't understand how complex this racism situation is, because they get told, oh, you just work for what you want and everything will be given to you. Work, and that's kind of true in one way. Yes, it is, but you got to be wise and smart and understand. And you got a group of people that they had these little roadblocks and they got these little roadblocks for you. So that guy from Somalia up there in Minnesota, he shot the woman right away. Time to go to jail, baby.
Yeah, quick, fast, and I heard.
Put him right in jail. And then this guy here with this Edison Mendoza, he's not, his lineage probably don't come all from here. He probably, either him or his parent were probably raised foreign, and they came in. And, a lot of times people don't understand that, it's just like with you and your children. If you control the resources, you could treat one child different. Just give that child the resources and make the other child ask them for stuff. And that, instead of them children getting mad at you, they'll get mad at each other.
Playing a mind game.
Yeah, that's what they're doing here. And a lot of our immigrants don't even understand that. They come here over like, well, I'm black too, and I'm look how much better I'm doing. Well, yeah, that's good, but
but that's not a blanket statement. Some of them come over here and catch it just like we do.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
I mean, that's the one thing about America. It's hard to make blanket statements because it's always variables. You know what I'm saying? Like
this is what I'm gonna do. Let me show you this here real quick. Now the thing is the immigrant situation. So when you're dealing with blanket statements as far as America, what we can do is look at principle. All right, because America is like an entity, right? So it's like
okay.
Yeah, like a country has the laws and the stuff that is on paper. But those laws and rules they're just good enough by basically who's enforcing that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So whoever's in control of enforcing that stuff, that's what we can think about. Because a lot of times the laws are good, but they're not enforced evenly. See, because I think there's this story right here too. These are Haitians. They're in Mexico right now. I don't have sound on this one, but the Haitians, they're getting because that Title 42. Because to let the Ukrainians in, they're telling everybody down there. See, these people get our news. And they're telling everybody, oh, Title 42 is getting ready to get relaxed so they can let the Ukrainians in, and we'll be able to get y'all in too. Get the vaccine, so they have no excuse. But, and they don't mind letting these other groups of people in, these non-blacks. But I guarantee you, them Haitians going to have a problem.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. But that's because they really do not want us to be in control at all, unless it's a puppet. They'll let a puppet get in there in a minute.
Right. I mean, that's what, a lot of us don't understand that, and that's what I'm trying to get people to see. Like, once we get that, I mean, if we don't have to change our religion, we don't have to change the spiritual system, we don't have to change none of that. We don't have to change that, but you can't ignore facts. Like, we can't ignore what's happening. And nobody. You don't gotta hate nobody just because you acknowledge and accept and deal with what's true.
Oh no, but the person taking offense reveals themselves to be the source of the opposition. Because they're hiding their hand, and committing the acts that become oppressive in nature. Because man, it's a real game they're playing.
Right. Let me here. This is my little part here. This is just for the viewing audience. I like this here.
Stop getting mad at people for lying when you can't handle the truth. That is hard to hear, but it is honest in many situations that we are showing someone that we cannot handle them telling the truth to us. We are showing it through punishing them, through showing that we're upset, giving them the silent treatment, being mean. But if you want people to be honest with you, you will have to learn to withstand honesty. It is hard. It is uncomfortable. But if you're asking a question, be responsible for dealing with your emotional reaction to the answer. But if you want people to be honest, it is so important that you learn how to accept the truth.
Yeah. Do women really handle the truth or speak differently than men?
Wait, say it again. You start breaking up the first
No,
part.
no. Do you think that women and men handle honesty or honest speak different than men?
Yes, and it depends on the subject matter.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's some things I'm married. I have a wife, and there's some things that I know she cannot handle. Absolutely know it. I mean, I've tested the waters and the reaction, and I already knew it, but I had to test it just to verify it. And there are levels of honesty, and that's not to say that you shouldn't be honest with your wife, because you should. But man, yeah, women definitely, and that's not to say all women. And that's what I was saying earlier. It's variables. I'm gonna make it real personal.
Right.
As a black man in America, I've been pulled over many times, and there have been times when things went incredibly well, where I should have gone to jail and took that ride and didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to check myself on that experience, because I spoke to my Thai guy about it, and I just asked him, he black like me, we support black business wherever we can. It don't always work out well, but hey, we keep doing it. and he went off, but he told me he had never caught a break. And I really had to, it let me know that, just because that's my experience, every black person don't get that experience. And some of us get the worst part of that experience, and you get a pile on when you have a president that looked like you. Talking about, if I had a son, he looked like Trayvon, as if that's all you can do.
Exactly.
So it's wicked, bro. But I just wanted to personalize it, because those variables are important, but they can't be confused with the summation, because it's a lot of weight on the other side of where it don't go well. A lot of weight.
Right. It's like it's a lot of people out here that think, like you said, this is what I mean. There's a lot of people out here that think that just because something happened to them, their personal experience, then they want to judge everybody by how their experience happened. And we don't understand, like, people go through different lessons in their own family. They go through different regional lessons, like, the law in this part of the area is enforced differently than that part. Like, for example, I like I said, growing up in Detroit, I've been let go, and Atlanta with warnings and stuff that I know that other people, they go straight to jail over something like that. I really haven't been handled roughly. I mean, I guess one time when I was real young, we was out there in a place where I guess the white folks didn't want black people to be driving in, and I had a suspended license, and they, handled it rough then, but I didn't really think nothing of it. It didn't happen all the time, but but I'm not gonna say judge everybody, like, because it depends on who taught that person how to deal with the police, who taught them these lessons and that lesson. We gotta, if we're not out here trying to teach, educate folks, where are they going to get this information? Because some of our families are so destroyed, so broken up. People grow up smoking weed, smoking crack, cooking drugs. That's the lesson they father teaching them, or mama, learning how to sell their body from childhood. And then you expect that person to be just as normal and rational in adulthood as maybe you or somebody who had a better structure in their family. It's just, I mean, sometimes that's what I ask people, like, what do we expect out here to be? A lot of times we like to blame each other for, a lot of ratchet behavior. But, and I'm going to bring this up. we blame each other for ratchet behavior, but it's not all on us. I know it's hard. People say you can't blame other people. Can't blame the white man. Who running the system? It's like if it was a black person running the system, then we're gonna put the blame on who, as far as what they do. Now, each person, excuse me, each person, of course, we're responsible for ourselves, but we got all this money coming away from your education, but into the police. No after school programs, no real good alternatives as far you got several generations of men and families kind of being destabilized. You know, all these grants and encouragement for the female side, and then punishment for the male side.
But that's only doing for division.
Yeah,
that's not doing because we just love the black woman so much.
Right.
and that's why I get kind of upset with the sisters that they don't see, not all of them, but you know, the ones that don't see through it. Like, man, they playing you.
They're not gonna see it
unless they good with gameplay. I mean,
well, that's my point. They're not going to see it. It's not going to be seen because it's a deception, and that's what even those of us who do see this, it's like we got to be careful. And that's one thing. I mean, we'll touch on this part a little bit. This Kevin Samuels thing. Have you ever? I never heard. I knew of him because of the YouTube thing, but you know, I never. I mean, I've seen a couple of his. You know, he's almost like a shock jock, but he's a little bit more refined.
Yeah, a smooth shot.
Yeah, he was. He was a little bit more.
The black Howard Stern.
Well, like, if you heard of somebody named Tommy Sotomayor.
Yeah, haven't listened to him, but yeah, and right. I hadn't listened to a lot of Kevin Samuels, but I had heard a few things, but not too much.
Right. So Tommy Sotomayor, I would compare more to because he ratchet. He just kind of, you know, he gonna say anything. But like Kevin Samuels, he gonna put the suit on. He gonna use some logic too. So he gonna use logic. So you're not gonna be able to just call him, you know, kind of totally dismiss him completely. And that's what made him a little bit more effective. But you know, obviously the brother was out here. He wasn't his little talking points. He was kind of dealing with Hortensia here. And Hortensia, she's a nurse down there in Atlanta, down by you. I'm gonna read the little spot with Kevin. And you know, they treat him real rough. Of course, there's no respect for life.
Oh no. I mean, what you expect? This a home of abortion.
Right. That's my thing. I'm thinking like, okay, yeah, true enough, you don't like somebody, but is it like really important? Why is it so important to kind of just destroy somebody right when they're dead? Because you can't hurt them no more personally.
Oh no, but the people who listen to it would get caught up, and this is. I mean, man, I almost hate to say it. It's another distraction because it is somebody's life, but that mighty 2% don't care what they use.
Oh no, it definitely is a distraction, but if we don't kind of touch on them, you know what I'm saying? It's like we gotta touch on some of this stuff because like people, we get distracted, but it's real. It's some real lessons in this. And the more we can actually get enough people to kind of focus on the real lesson, then we'll probably get less distracted. Because these folks is kind of, you know, they are here. To me, with this here, people trashing somebody after they dead, you're only hurting their family. You're making yourself look like an animal to me.
Yeah. Oh, well, you can't call them animals.
Yeah, but that's
No, I'm just saying that because of what happened with Trump and the. It's like the people that are so sensitive to certain things turn a blind eye when they don't apply the same sensitivity in other areas. And I'm not even saying it's legit sensitivity. I'm just saying in the way that certain things are addressed. But yeah, he was pretty rough with the ladies on some occasion, and the guys too. I mean, he kind of reminded me of a kind of a life coach.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I mean, I didn't listen to it a lot. I didn't give him a lot of attention because it wasn't edifying. He wasn't doing it in the way I thought necessarily bring people up as a whole.
Yeah, he did. He was more of a shock jock. But what I did appreciate, and this is the only thing I can do, like when somebody's passed away, I'm not going to use my words to try to hurt them. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make sense. And we forgive our people. We're the same community that forgive folks who do all sorts of stuff to us. But as soon as we, it might be legitimate criticism, but if somebody's dead, all you're doing
that ain't the time.
Right, you're hitting up their family. And those family members might not be evil or bad or maybe don't share the same views, but they know the person in another way. We have to understand, like, the way we handle things, it matters. The truth, you can't just say the truth without being strategic. That's what they say, a well-dressed lie. What they call that? You remember that? A well-dressed lie is more powerful, or organized truth is more powerful than a well-dressed lie or something. I forgot how they do it. I think the well-dressed lie is stronger than the truth, a disorganized truth.
Yeah, no, I can't go with that one.
What do you
the truth will never be more powerful. I mean, a lie will never be more powerful than the truth. Not that it doesn't hold a certain amount of power, but because if you get a lot of people to believe a lie,
right,
you do have some sort of control over them.
But what do you think? So let me ask you this then, since you're not going with that. How does the lie survive when the truth is available?
Due to the gullibleness and the willingness for others to not even be willing to be objective. That's what I run into. I mean, I have a cousin, he's an accountant. So you don't trip into being an accountant.
Right.
But he's a liberal. And I'm not understanding how when you work with numbers, they're gonna say what they're gonna say, unless you fudge them, of course. But why when it comes to the political sphere, I wouldn't imagine an accountant being on the side of, a man can be a woman. No, things are a certain way. It's not what you want it to be. And not that he's into that, but he doesn't object to it. It's no big deal. It doesn't affect me.
But check this out, Leroy. Lies work. Why? Because the human nature is a certain way. And if the lie has the organized power behind it of organization, and the truth is thinking like, well, I'm true, so I'm just gonna work. It ain't gonna work like that. That's what they mean by that. Now the truth has to organize itself to actually contend with the lie, then it will win.
Oh, you think so? I mean, hold on. Truth stands on its own. It don't need no kickstand.
Now let's think. Let's go into that. Let's look at what actually happened. Now, truth stands on its own. What does that mean to you? Because I'm trying to understand that. What does that mean? Like, what do you mean it stands on its own?
That no matter what comes against it, it does not move. It does not change.
What if you
it is a fact?
What if you hide it?
Then that's a lie. I mean, if someone is lying by omission, that's a lie.
Okay, so now you say it's a lie by omission, but that's how it's done, though. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. So the truth exists, okay, but it can be contained so that lies can operate, and that's what I'm saying here. Because this is the truth too. Because it's a way that lie is running around here, taking control of the situation. And if we thinking, oh well, the truth is there, so it is what it is. No, truth has to be picked up. It has to be put in the mouth of somebody who would tell the truth. It has to be protected by a community who will organize the truth, who will build a community around the truth, who will protect the truth, who, you know what I'm saying? Truth has to actually be used and put out there. It takes effort. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why lies can, because a person will fall for a lie if the truth, they don't see it. They don't know what the truth is. They was born, they're just babies. The mama was educated with lies. Daddy was educated with lies. You see what I'm saying? How they gonna get it?
I mean, but that's you're talking about the dissemination.
That's my point. Yes, I'm talking about the whole thing. I'm talking about how this is that's what I'm talking about exactly. I'm talking about the entire process of how this stuff, how confusion gets power, how confusion keeps running the show
by lies being believed. That's why I said that. I'm not saying that lies don't have power. It's just that in the final analysis, lies cannot stand against truth.
Right.
Ever.
Again,
that's why. And I do get that.
What I'm saying, though, but you see what I'm saying? Because I see what you're saying. Because if the truth is there with the lie will lose it. Okay.
Every time.
So, but what I'm saying to you is this: if a baby is 5 years old, and his mama say Santa Claus gonna bring you a present, Santa gonna bring you a present. That's a lie. Now, can you fault the child for believing the lie from his mama?
It's not.
You see what I'm saying?
It's not but that's not quite the same. I do. Look, it's
what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, though. I know what you're saying, but I'm talking about. That's why I said I agree with what you're saying. But I'm talking about this thing. This is how lies gain power.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's no object there. I mean, that's why I said that lies got power because people. I mean, safe and effective. 2 weeks to stop the spread. All kind of lies.
Right.
And unfortunately, they do work. And I hate to call people weak-minded because I want to give people the benefit of the doubt, but some are obstinate and are declared to be on the other side of the truth. I mean, no matter what kind of evidence you show them, even if you don't show them and they see it on their own, they still deny it.
Well, yeah, that's not your job now. Once you put that there, then they gotta fight because there's a whole nother dynamic. Like I said, we gotta deal with human nature too, because with human nature, like for example, let's bring it to this real quick. I'm gonna show this. I wanted to show this. Let's deal with this Roe versus Wade thing real quick because this is about respect for life. Now, this is respect for life. It's like, what is the job of life? Like the nature of men and women I mean, like, to me, the nature of women should be definitely to, I mean, within her nature, she's going to be protective of her child.
Which is why it's so stunning.
Yeah,
that women more than men that are for abortion shock me the most. And I don't mean shock as in, just stop me in my tracks. Just I'm in a kind of a awe, and not in a good way. Because it's like what you just said. It's an inclination for, even in the wild, for animals to protect their offspring.
Right, especially the female, because even like with the bear, like you said, the bear, and the nurturing nature, especially as far as the human female especially, they tend to be. Not everything ain't across the board. We got a lot of weird stuff going on nowadays, but
yeah, that's putting it mildly.
That's why I got that confusion thing going. This is like a ball of confusion, but it's like this. The woman is like more nurturing. I mean, their body is literally made. You can't be a man cannot over. I don't think a man can over nurture than a woman, because a woman has breasts
and lactates.
Yeah, she's got.
That's something. I don't care what they doing in the lab. And even if they do come up with something similar, it'll never be that.
But what about man boobs? They even put it on.
They not lactating, bro. it ain't no milk coming out of them.
But that confused the baby, right?
Oh yeah. What Pete Buttigieg and his partner, because men don't have husbands.
Yeah, but they teaching, right now in school, right there in Georgia. They teaching preschool and elementary school, talking about, who you gonna marry when you grow up. You can marry a man, you can marry a woman, or a girl. You can marry this or that. Some men, some guys,
an animal.
Right. This is what they do. They're doing this. And that's what I'm trying to get people to understand. Like, this is what
happening.
Yeah, it's happening. And the thing is, we can, it's like you can do something about it, but it's like you have to organize yourself with like-minded people. So
no doubt.
Did you see this here? Look at this.
Jane Roe's story was a terrible one. She said she had been gang raped, gotten pregnant, was desperate to get an abortion. That's what everyone believed, as long as Jane Roe remained anonymous. When she went public, she told a different story.
You were raped while you were in Georgia?
No, I wasn't.
You were not?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, so all those stories that are in the books and so forth are not true?
Yes.
They're not true.
Right.
And it turned out that lying wasn't the only embarrassment this darling of the pro-choice forces presented. In her personal treatise published last year, Norma McCorvey told the story of her somewhat sordid life. Then she still adamantly supported abortion. Now she adds that to the list of sins she took.
Yeah, they cut it off right there.
Yeah.
Right when it's really going to go into detail.
It took to the grave.
But she passed when Obama was in office and was out there marching against abortion, and that's how you end up with a term like fake news, and people gravitate to it because people see the lies.
Well, that's
people
what I'm saying. If they're looking, but we got to understand there's literally millions of people. And the thing is, I've always said this: they lie and tell people that your opinion don't matter. I don't believe that.
Yeah, because you didn't vote.
Yeah.
Let's add that.
Well. When they want you to vote, your opinion matters.
But that's only if you vote the way they want you to.
Exactly. Your vote matters. You see what I'm saying? But your people's opinions shape the reality because people do what they want. Like people do what they believe. And the
It may shape.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it may shape their reality, but not reality as a whole. And that's the problem.
But it does set a reality. It does affect us. See,
oh
like,
my goodness.
Look at this. These people. Now, true enough. Keep in mind, that's why we got to understand. Like, it takes time because a lot of times certain stuff is just like on the Matrix. They was like, unfortunately, the Matrix cannot be simply told. Like, people can't just tell us certain stuff. Some stuff we have to actually take the time and live through and deal with it. Because other than that, keep in mind, anybody who wants to come up, you can click the link, come on up here, which we all kind of put our perspective. It would be good to get a sister's perspective on some of this stuff too, because men are talking, like this here, the gender war. It allows these women to just totally dismiss what men say. You don't matter.
Well, hold on. Some men, because now they're in a quandary with this Roe versus Wade thing, not just because of the obvious, but also now, I mean, they back to women are women. I mean, you got to be, because men can't have children ever.
But see, we dealing with a war. And that kind of brings me to this thing. Have you ever looked into that eugenics thing?
Yeah, somewhat, yes.
Yeah. This is a movie. This is like a movie that is good for us to check out, I think, whenever you get a chance. Check out this.
But the irony is...
Hold on. It's called the Alpha 21.
Okay.
Yeah. So if anybody get a chance, check this out. It's pretty good. It's just talking about Black people and eugenics, and and
Margaret
blacks. Mm-hmm.
Margaret Sanger was, and that's some of the most conniving stuff about it, because there are people who are really smart who wear this facade as if they want to do something for our people, and they know who Margaret Sanger is, and they still support abortion, which ultimately means you're not for our people. I mean, they'll throw out reasons like, well, the only reason they want to stop abortion is because too many white people having abortions. Okay.
But that's true.
That's gonna stop Black people from having abortions too, and it's gonna be more of us. 30 million Black babies.
More than that.
if you put just an exponent of 2 on it, plus our current numbers, we are well over 100 million.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be.
Black people. There's some Black people that feel like something's wrong with that. Like I'd say, oh, we need 100 million more Black babies, and it's some sisters that be like, oh, y'all gonna be in jail because people can't get beyond what they see.
Look, it's not just Black women who saying that. I've been in chat rooms because I go in echo chambers and wreck shop. That's what I do. And I've seen the comments of white people saying exactly that. They won't say the Black part, but they'll just say, well, that'll just lead to more crime. Like, how do you jump all the way from them being born to them being a criminal off top?
Because that's what's being taught.
But that's disgusting. How dare you to quote Greta Thunberg? How dare you assume that a child is going to be a criminal?
Right. Because you know what?
Children are a blank slate and are impressionable, and that's why Disney is doing what they're doing.
But what's crime? See, that's one thing black folks, and that's what I mean too with the situation of even in the Bible, how when they talk, we think that they're including everybody in their speech. But they have code words that mean us and code words for them. And a lot of times we don't pick it up. So when they're saying more crime, what does crime mean?
Inner city,
Y'all
low
like
income.
no, y'all like the crime. That's what they're saying basically. They're saying that you guys need to be removed. There's too many of y'all. We don't want that. Your life is a crime.
Well, your existence
Yeah, exactly.
is criminal. You being here outnumbering us,
Exactly. And
making us face the possibility of, and I don't think it will happen, but making them face the possibility of being done to them what was done to our ancestors. I don't believe that will happen.
That would happen to them only. Well, it has happened, so let's not be lying. Well, I'm not gonna lie. Black people did have white people in slavery,
but not in the numbers or the effect as a whole on current society, because there are still people who can't get past that. I mean, not get past in the sense of you forget what happened. Just realize that you don't let that stop you.
Hold on. I want BMT to come up here and tell me. I want BMT to tell me because you said something on Art's channel about the Kevin Samuels thing. If you can come up just for a second and tell, because where did I put that? Because Art had Art Newstall is the brother that we listen to too. He had a panel, and and Kevin, I'm gonna read this part here really quick. I want to go to this Kevin thing just for a second because this part I want to spend a little second on. This is because the way that our people handle, the way that our people handle death and the respect for life. And to me, it ties in to the abortion thing, because we've been told that thing is not alive that's in her. And then we've been told that that's good, but it doesn't really make sense. But everybody's saying it, so we just kind of go with it. And then we got people, just because we disagree with their opinion, and I understand pushing back at what you disagree at, but it's like, why did our elders and ancestors tell us, don't speak ill of the dead or those type of things? That's what I want to know. I want to know, like, what, is that a part of respecting life? And what does that do for us when we disrespect life? Like, what is that leading us to? What do you think? What are you thinking?
I was switching earpieces.
Huh? Okay, yeah. That's my thing. And BNT said they always throw that black on black shit at us. Yeah, and that's true. Yeah, they throw that.
Add this, they also throw that disproportionately affected.
See, these are those code words for us, and that's why I'm saying, like, man, if we don't pick this stuff up, I mean, but you know what though? I believe that nothing gonna happen to us because God ain't gonna let us die. Obviously, you know how many times we could have been extinct. obviously, the Lord, He's just gonna let them bake until they start realizing who they are. Once enough of them get it, then go ahead. We can move on to the next step. We can move to the next step once enough get it. Because like that's what I mean. Like there's a certain group of people. They want you dead. They create a whole science. If you look at that title, that's what they teach us in school. Darwinism.
There's some people that look like you and me who buy what Darwin says, and he's a racist.
But you can't help it though. That's what I mean. Think about it though. Like that's hard. That's hard to reject everything he say, because he gonna say some true stuff, right? He's Darwin.
And if you start lying, I got to throw out the rest and treat you like, this jury duty, and you understand. You get caught lying, I can't use the rest of your testimony. It's a wrap. And that book he wrote, I mean, he says it in the title. Favorite racist. I mean, what are you saying?
And we know who his cousin was.
Satan?
No, his cousin was the man who started eugenics to kill us. That's what we don't. Let me see if they say it right here. This is the science that we're taught in school. And so, of course, you're going to have very smart people with degrees, doctors, very smart people. They are all not bad people. They're not evil people. They believe this stuff. You see?
Well,
and that's what's hard. That's why I said, like, we got to realize, like, even I think, what was that? Was that who did that? Lot was, because when God was like, okay, we're going to kill the whole town. And he was like, well, you kill everybody, even the good and the bad ones? And then,
you're talking about when God visited Abraham before he sent his angels to Sodom and Gomorrah.
The thing about this principle here, see, this is what a lot of us don't get. Like when people believe something, God don't want to just kill them because they're sincere.
Yeah, unless they flat out cold.
Well, see that, but
then you hurting children. I mean,
no, God will let kids die, because if you look at it, he'll kill kids and everybody, because if they, it's time for them to go, because he can make new ones. We can't think like God, because that's like I ain't gonna even go down that rabbit hole. But the point is, I'm just going to this point, this principle here. Like the servant, the good person that, if they believe that something is unjust, God will literally have patience with them to prove to themselves that everybody got to go. You know what I'm saying? Because God already knew, like, we got to kill all these people.
Well, I mean, look at the flood. Everybody but 8.
Right. But the servant didn't understand. Dang, God, that's rough. So that's all my point is with that thing is we are, if everybody ain't dead yet, then God is trying to save somebody who's sincere. You see what I'm saying? Obviously.
Yeah.
Otherwise everybody be dead. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta be in lockstep with that. And just because, let's say somebody doesn't believe or know something yet, it has to, obviously we got to go through the process of going through the pain of whatever we have to go through to really understand, like, okay, now I see what God was talking about. Now he'll knock them all out, because he wants you to be, he wants us to understand the decision for what his reason. He don't need us to understand, but obviously he wants us to understand for a reason. He wants us to actually understand, not just do because it was said and that's it. but obviously there's something that he wants enough of us to actually understand. And that's the problem with some of us. We're not patient. As soon as we believe, oh, we safe, we good. Oh, go ahead, God.
Let them have it.
Let them have it. Shit, I'm in the right spot. I'm good. But God, like, bro.
Ain't no iron team. It ain't just about you. and that's why, I was talking to a friend of mine on his show, and a caller called in and expressed how things are pretty bad, and they talked about this being close to the end,
right.
And he was of the opinion that that's being very narcissistic.
Mm.
I don't think anyone who is serious about it being the end is thinking about themselves.
Mm.
Unless it's Klaus Schwab and he wants it to be the end.
How could they ban that little post? I posted that. These censorships, boy, is something else, man.
Hey, they not playing.
Yeah, they try to keep that little confusion going because they about to roll. They rolling your boy out again.
Who that?
The angel of Fauci deafness. They rolling him out again.
For what? Nobody's listening to that anymore.
I know.
Except for the loyal mask wearers.
See? Yeah, you're right. And guess what? I don't know if they will ban this if I show this here. Let me see. I'm gonna go ahead and see.
I mean, and look, I'm gonna use this term, and it's not mine. It's not an original for me, but I can only see it as how the Lord works. The person in charge of the disinformation governance board is Nina Jankowicz. I heard this guy call her Janky Witch. And that's it. I mean, she got songs about disinformation based on nursery rhymes. It's disturbing. She is disturbing. She looks disturbed.
This is one of the biggest disinformation campaigns that I can
ever.
Remember. This right here. My cousin posted this right here.
Here, I fixed it. They put it on the exhaust.
There you go.
My goodness.
Telling me we can fix.
See, now we don't need electric cars, and
we don't need to do none of that. And that's but if they keep saying it, then you're gonna believe it.
No.
well, not you. See, that's what I mean. Like, yeah, it's like there's people out here that obviously either God wants them or their kids. He wants their material. And another thing too, I remember we gotta start realizing that it ain't all about just us in our current status. Sometimes it's about our lineage. So sometimes, you might see somebody who just admitted like a real enemy against the truth, and they're gonna never be saved in themselves, but they got children, and sometimes that child would do 180. So, I just want to see if they show this one. This is the eugenics thing. This is something that I think everybody should get.
In the struggle for life. Now, copies and editions that they made afterwards eliminated that phrase about the favored races. Evidently, they understood then that it was politically incorrect.
Some may defend Francis Galton because...
See, Francis Galton is this man's cousin. This is where they came up with this. They have a society to kill us all. And that's one thing that a lot of us did not believe. I mean, we would be laughing at each other, calling people hoteps, calling people pseudo and conspiracy theorists.
Oh, you one of them conscious brothers.
Right. This is the bottom line. These people don't like us. And they were like, okay, we're going to get rid of them, but we can't go straight after them. They thought they could at first because they thought they was that powerful. But, the thing is, it's not easy killing folks.
No.
It's easier said than done. And now they can make us believe that they could just, bring a few tanks or something like that. But it is not that easy. You ain't gonna just get rid of folks that easy, especially millions. No,
Yeah, not everybody.
It don't work like that. And you can try it, but the type of effort that it takes, no. People ain't just gonna sit there.
Unless you can con them into doing it
themselves
for you. Yeah.
Exactly.
Doing it to themselves and doing it for you, because that and Roe versus Wade has accomplished that.
Right. And that was part of, they tried that. It did not work because they tried to use this to kill us, like you said, just to, try to get us to kill ourselves. And we don't like ourselves. We want to change our skin,
Oh my goodness.
all this kind of stuff. We want to mix weirdly, and nobody this is the mayor of Chicago, and it's in her
kidnapped child.
This is the mayor of Chicago, and this I guess her partner.
Yeah, I'm talking about the baby in the middle.
Right, the girl was on stage just supporting it. You see how we support stuff? They can, for some reason, our women are real susceptible to this stuff. We support this stuff, and then when it's right in front of their face, it's a little too much. The nature is like, something wrong here. This don't look right.
Yeah, even the child is like, get me out of here.
Right, something wrong. Something is wrong with this. That's what nature is telling us. So I'm like, but I'm going to listen.
Eventually that he rejected slavery, but they do point out that all of his wealth did derive from the slave trade, but also it needs to be known that he, as well as other eugenists, did not reject slavery until after it had ended, and they could not any longer exploit blacks legally. So at that point, it would have been quite easy for he and his cohorts to reject slavery. I think this is a point that we all have to really realize, that the eugenics movement was not invented by the everyday average white American, but by a select group of wealthy white elitists that had often used this ideology to pit all of white America against black America.
Right, so that'd be good. And that, these are little stuff here that, that's the reason why when people, it's hard to get people to see this stuff, because it's like we're kind of steered against it. We're taught not to even worry about this stuff. These people have been literally planning this Roe versus Wade, all of this eugenics, all of this sterilization, forced sterilization. And there you go, your girl. There's Margaret Sanger. We don't want the word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population. And you got people voting for Hillary Clinton, who well knows Margaret Sanger. I admire Margaret Sanger enormously. You know what I'm saying? This is what we're dealing with. I mean, this is the type of world. But obviously, they were dying a little bit too much of it, because they made something up to kill us. But
and it's working on them.
See?
Even choosing,
who is out there? How many black people? One dummy. There you go. Hold on. Let's look at her. There's one black girl. There she go. Is
mouth
that
wide open
with daggone purple pink hair? But let's
yes, and probably engaged in the lifestyle that doesn't produce black life.
Who's out here?
I mean, and that's one of the other methods they use to exterminate us.
who's serious about this stuff.
Oh yeah, gun ho
I mean, these
about
people
murder.
are serious enough. They're serious enough. Dang, look how short that person is. That's like an imp. Anyway, but look, these people are serious enough. Is that a child or is that a? Okay, that look like an old.
I hope it's because if it's a
Okay.
child, that's how dare you?
And look, but they got a child right there. Look at this. Look at the boy. Yeah, I don't want to be here. And look at the mom. She like, you should support this. Kill me, mama. What? Children.
Exactly.
Children.
And then there's this that some are so blind in this respect that it's about a woman's choice, but all the children that are born are not males. So what about those females?
See?
What about if we're gonna boil it? And I'm not boiling it down to this, but for their position, if you're gonna boil it down to it's about a woman's body, well, some of those babies would become women.
Yeah.
They don't care about their voice.
These people want to they want to engage in a lifestyle that nature. See, that's what I mean. The nature actually has some biological kind of I guess fail safes, or I don't know what word to use, but like nature actually has something. God had put something in place to kind of force us to restrict our behaviors. Okay, if you want to go out there, slanging it like that, then you're gonna have all this responsibility.
Yeah.
Right. And so and that really falls on the woman especially. And then if you have daughters.
Well, no, I mean those men that are responsible, it falls on the man too.
Well, no, listen to what I'm saying. I'm just talking about.
You're talking about that from their position.
Let's just go savage. Let's just say there was no Bible, there's no nothing, no moral. Okay, let's just say that. Now, let's say you a man, you raise your children. Let's say you raise 4 girls. You their father. Now, they should be able to do what they want to do, right? You can't say nothing. And so let's say they attract to every man, and when they have children, they're going to need help. If they pick bad guys who don't help them, they're going to be coming back to who? Daddy.
Oh, yeah.
And so you're going to have now authority to tell them what to do because they need something from you. That will regulate them. You see how that works?
I mean, but will it in some instances?
Look. Think about it. I'm just saying. Hold on. Doing the wrong one. No, but think about it. Oh, shoot. Sorry about that. No, but think about it. Look, if these are my daughters, right? You see what I'm saying? You hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
No, I mean I messed up and clicked you off by mistake. I just want to make sure you can hear. No, but look, if these are my daughters, okay, and I'm telling them, bring the men to me, but they don't want to listen to me, right? They go out, let's say they pick somebody who's not going to do right, take care of them. When they get pregnant, they need help because they're pregnant. They're not working probably. And maybe if they are working, it's just harder. It's much harder on them. They're going to come back to get help, right? I'm not talking about in today's welfare. There's no welfare. This is back, let's just show we're back in, let's say, right after slavery or something. There's no such thing as welfare. They're going to need help. They're going to get help from the community. So that father is going to now have authority. That family is going to have authority to tell those children what to do now. Because if you want some resources from the family, you're going to have to listen to us. That produces more respect. But the way they have it now is the girl and even the boy, they just, as soon as they get 18, the parents trying to tell them something, whatever, I'll do it on my own. I'll get, welfare. I'll get all of these set-asides. I'll get all this stuff. And even if I pick somebody who's not intelligent or who won't support me, I'll do it myself. I'm not about to swallow my pride and listen to my parents who raised me. Obviously, they're smart enough to raise me. But that's how the world is now. That's just how they got it. And to me, this is what's going on. Folks is supporting this crazy stuff.
Man, look, in California, they passed a law, all this. Just listen to this in the frame of mind of my body, my choice.
Mm-hmm.
So in California, now up to 28 days after the child is born, the mother can have you can't call it an abortion although I guess they do.
Wait. The 28 days after?
Yes. So it's still your body 28 days later?
What in the hell?
Exactly. And in Oregon, they're trying in Portland, city council is trying to pass bereavement leave for women who have abortion. Okay, so bereavement means someone died, right?
Right.
So you see what I'm saying? It's bruh.
That's dysfunction. And that's what
complete.
I mean. Like, this whole thing is just coming down. Let me check this piece out real quick, and then I'm gonna move to the Dave Chappelle show, and then we're about to get up out.
Access to abortion is a human right, and it doesn't matter whether you are in a refugee camp, in a conflict-affected country.
Look at that. Look at that. Look who they holding up.
Say?
If you don't believe in abortion, don't get one. F Putin.
See, and this
now they believe in Nazis.
But these same people tell you exactly how many people died from COVID, and if you say anything against that narrative, you are Nazi.
Abortion is basic human right.
For who?
Kill your children.
I have the right to kill.
Why don't you just, see, that's what I'm saying. Like nature would say we need to just regulate how we choose. Right? If there was no such thing as that, you would have to just kind of be smart.
Yeah.
That's why it was hard to get a girl before. She was making sure, like, what kind of dude are you? But nowadays,
it's whatever. I can get rid of it.
I
can plan B that thing.
Right.
An ICE detention center, you're incarcerated, or you're in a...
Now, who's talking? They found some melanin. This is what I'm saying. Like, there's a whole nother game right here. They got to get some melanin, and that dude behind her has got some melanin, but he looks a little sweet, but I don't know. Let's go.
Rural community in Ohio, everybody needs access to abortion.
Abortion is an issue of bodily autonomy. It's about really self-determination, right?
I'm 35 years old. I'm a mom.
Who's self-determination?
And
you see what I'm saying? Like, and then I'm listening to the tone of the voice. It's like everybody talks the same. Like, it's about body positivity. It's like, God.
Can you be that ignorant?
God.
Okay, so the person that you just offed, they don't have body autonomy?
All right, let's listen. I'm just trying to listen. I just want to see what's in this mind. Who put this stuff in their mind?
And when I was in my 20s, I got pregnant and I wasn't ready. And so I had an abortion, which I don't regret at all, because it's how I became the person that I am today.
People who have abortions are silenced a lot. I feel like I've had an abortion and I talk about it, and I find the more I talk about it, the more people are like, oh, I had one too. 1 in 4 people with uteruses are going to access abortion care. That's a whole lot.
Stop right there. 1 in 4 women.
You picked it up too. They're not women. They're not women no more. You see how these people are eliminating women.
I mean, with the uterus, as if men have uteri. Is that the correct? Come on.
Let's look at the look in this one. Its eyes. Let's look in it's not there anymore.
She said, and they say, I have one too, as if this is a bonding moment,
bro.
And look, it could be a bonding moment in that you've moved past that and you understand that, that's not what the plan should have been, and I made a serious error. But like they both said, I'm proud of my abortion.
But you see the mentality of somebody who will make.
I mean, look, can you or I go out and kill someone and come up and, like she said, it turned me into the person I am today? If I go out and kill somebody and tomorrow I say it turned me into the person I am today, they still gonna lock me up.
Right. That's true. And the thing is, my thing is this. I mean, I try to take people's talking points, from their perspective. I'm trying to actually understand. And I'm not trying to demonize people, because the thing is, if you want somebody to listen to you, you got to try to actually listen to them. And this person believes this. Like, how can you call a human being a person with a uterus? Why don't you just say woman? Where is this leading us to?
I'm not a biologist.
Why is it not more important to just say, let's make better decisions? Why do we have to kill the baby? How can we respect life? You know what I'm saying? If we don't respect life, a person with uterus. Oh my God. Let me finish some of this.
I would have never thought that I would be here protesting for what I've learned about when I was in school.
But look who another thing I'm looking at too is look who they interview. But look if you look at the crowd, look who's there.
Like high school, we supposedly live in a free country, but it has not been feeling free for a while.
Women in rural communities don't have access to planes or train tickets or anything like that. They can't travel to New York to get an abortion. They're stuck in Tennessee or in Florida. And so it's really the lower income labor class communities of color that are impacted. And it's not just about women, it's about all genders.
All people access abortion care. Trans people, black people, white people, all people access abortion care.
Stop right there. Stop. Does that include men? Please tell me, does that include men? Can I have access to abortion?
Well, yeah. It's not, you're not a man. You're a cisgender.
No. Can I tell if I go get a woman pregnant, I get my side chick pregnant, you going to have this abortion? Case closed? Is that what she meant? Since everybody can have access to abortion.
Man, I'm gonna just say it like this. I don't know. I'm just looking at this here, what's out here versus what they showing. They interviewing melanin. And that's what I was talking about with the eugenics thing. This stuff is not for this abortion thing was not made really for them. And that's what the conservative white guy understands. He knows that it's not, and even Biden understands it, because they already showed, I've seen a clip where they showed Biden he supports stopping the abortion. That's why he let all those Ukrainians in. He wants that whiteness because their numbers are going away. But the abortion thing was for us. But guess who's using it mostly? It's them. And that's why if we don't get it, this is the reason why Saul Mendoza got put in jail, charged with murder, first-degree murder, third-degree murder, manslaughter for shooting a boy who shot at him with a gun. even though the boy threw the gun away while he was running. Probably shouldn't have shot him, but he shot him. But they did that. They charged that black guy with that murder so fast. It's because we needed that boy. We needed that boy.
So evidently, that's why the cops that killed Tamir Rice didn't get charged.
Exactly, because it's good. Yeah,
Because we don't need that boy.
We want to promote that, and that's why a lot of us don't understand. Racism is not in language. Racism is in policy. If I will not give you the policy that you asked for, if I tell you to kill your child instead of going ahead and giving you the money to support your child as a family, that's the answer.
Look,
They know that when you educate men and women and create families, they regulate themselves. That you don't have to abort babies that are being taken care of. People regulate themselves.
Look, the same cousin I mentioned earlier, we were discussing abortion, and I mentioned to him that Planned Parenthood gets $500 million a year from the government.
Mm.
And he said, well, what, you gonna take care of them? How much money you gonna give them? I said, well, if they spending that kind of money, they can't spend that same money and the children live?
They're taking my money already.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying, if you're spending that kind of money to eliminate life, you can spend that kind of money and the children live.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what's happening. But this is the kind of the bonehead mentality. The black people, y'all die. And like I showed in a video a couple of weeks ago, how if you got children at that border, if you got children, especially as those Latinos and stuff like that come in here,
they separate them.
No, they're not separating when those Latin people come in. If you got kids, they want the kids in, they want the mamas with kids. But them black people, y'all ain't coming in here.
Oh no.
Yeah, but you see, it's babies. It's babies right there, little babies. They're bringing babies to the border. They're bringing women pregnant. They have parties. They have these kind of parties in the Chinese people.
My baby will be American.
Right. They have parties where they bring child and then they have the baby like here in America. Then they go home and raise it. But it has an American citizenship. That's what they do. And
that's called sleeper cell, ain't it?
Yeah, that's what they do. That's what Chinese people do. They have American citizenship. They fly the children over here, a plane full of pregnant mothers. They all have their babies here in San Francisco and the Bay Area in California, and then they take the child and raise it in China, so it's loyal. That's what they do, and you can. That's not even a hidden thing. It's not conspiracy. You can look that up. You'll find that easy. And I'm gonna show this. This is the last thing. So why these people fighting for abortion, right? I just want to just throw this in here. This is like, because I do a science channel and a history channel, the B1 Math, Science, and History channel. And I go into all my nerdy science and history and all that crap. I ain't going to say crap, but that's stuff I like. But I just wanted to show just this little section. They demonizing people. First of all, they're pushing abortion. Oh, we should be able to kill our kids, and it's a human right, and we should be able to.
Having a baby or having a child, it's not even about choice. It's not a safe option for the person involved.
Specifically as adoption
is
an alternative
no shit, Tracy.
Parenting,
right.
Not pregnancy. Pregnancy can be.
Who has a constitutional right to private control? I'm worried about all of it. I think we all should.
Supermajority. Keep making your opinion known. Right now, there's a conservative supermajority.
Here we go. So look. Now this is the gender war. Women's safety is more important than men's feelings. So now it's a us versus them situation. So it's going to distort everything we see. But they show that. Now, I just want to show just in history. Now, this is how we know that Carthage, you ever heard of Carthage, ancient Carthage?
Yes.
All right, so that's North Africa. That's Rome was fighting Carthage. Rome was white, controlled Western world, and the black people in North Africa, which was Hannibal, and even now the word Baal is like synonymous with the devil, a bald and all this kind of stuff.
Yep.
Who knows? But they lie on these people a lot. I don't know. This might be true. I don't know. We don't know. But we know they're black because when they do the history of them, they always going to pull up a negative. Even though Rome and Greece has so many negatives, they had slavery. They were, they did all kinds of stuff, deviant, disgusting stuff, all kind of nasty stuff. But
Nero turned his son into a transgender.
Yeah, so that's their history. But I just wanted to show this part that's talking about. Let me see. Hold on. Now this white people telling the history. Okay, here it is.
Ordinary people.
At least they show, that's a black man. That's a black person. And it's a lot of other information. I mean, there were whites that came into because it was a mixed society. They were right there on the Mediterranean. But the people, the Carthaginians, those were black people, Phoenicians. They were world famous sailors. They sailed all over the world, had very sophisticated ships. So this is why we can't believe just because, a lot of us did come over here during slavery time, but that's not the only way black folks got all over the planet. But
absolutely.
Yeah. But I just let's go through this real quick.
Called the Canaanites in the Bible, the Phoenicians established a vast maritime empire, sailing all over the Mediterranean, trading gold and silver, olive oil, and fine wine. Phoenician settlements have been discovered in Sicily, Spain, and Cyprus. But Carthage, in modern-day Tunisia, was the jewel of the Phoenician commercial empire. The city boasted vast...
We're at the basement level of one of these massive...
Okay, I just want to show this part. I just want to show this part right here.
Bursa Hill, outside...
This is, to me, amazing. We haven't heard much more of this ancient city. This is serious history. To me, it's hidden black history, but I just want to show the sophistication and the technology that, black folks lived in, ancient peoples.
Tunis. American historian Glenn Marco was commissioned by the British Museum to write the first major study on the Phoenicians for 30 years.
The city was an extraordinary architectural wonder, and it would be amazing to be here at Carthage 2 centuries before Christ, to see this incredible residential complex of 6-story buildings looming up into the sky, being dwarfed by these structures as you walk up the streets of the city.
So that's 6-story buildings. They lived in those. So 6 stories. These are skyscrapers. And I mean, and they're still there after 2,200 years. So even longer than that, I believe. But I just wanted to show they had water, all this. They were very sophisticated people.
We're at the basement level of one of these massive 6-story apartment complexes that the Carthaginians built on the Byrsa slope. We know this because of the extraordinary thickness of the exterior walls of this building and the sheer capacity of these massive underground cisterns, more than 20 cubic meters, that served an enormous number of people.
These water cisterns served up to 60 people living in each apartment block. Remains show that each home had its own tiled kitchen and bathroom. Wow. But Carthage was to become a victim of its own success. Jealous.
But you see, they were black folks, but let's tell you the bad thing about them. Let's tell you the bad side about them real quick. Now this is the part. I mean, I'm just gonna play. It's just a couple of seconds more of this, but I just want
How
to kind
you
of
how you a victim of your own success?
let's look. This is how we know they were black folks, and this is why we got to be careful of who. I mean, we can hear people, but we got to check behind them. We can hear, they're going to tell you something true, but they're going to put their spin on it. Okay. This is the thing that we got to understand here, because like, it's not that we don't have the truth. It's like, do we understand it the way it's going to bring, are we understanding it the way from the perspective that's going to bring it the best power and the best understanding? You see what I'm saying? That's what they're doing here.
Of their commercial empire, first the Greeks, then the Romans waged war on the Phoenicians. In 264 BC, Rome...
They would have been rewritten by the Carthaginians rather than the Romans.
But barely 40 years after Hannibal's death, Romans torched and destroyed Carthage.
All right. I want to get to this part here where they pull out the thing that they kill their children.
The Phoenicians in Sicily.
This is
and went away home.
So these very young girls were actual prisoners until they were deflowered.
The Phoenicians were the first to...
So they say that they had some kind of, I mean, there's a bunch of lies in here, but I'll probably do this on a different time. But I want to do with this children thing, because that's what we got going on right now with this abortion stuff. But they justify it today, but it was horrible back then. Hold on.
I mean, it's always been horrible.
Right. But this is what, and they don't even really prove that they killed their kids. But
for a 200-year period in ancient Carthage that we would
look who's telling us the story.
Estimate were sacrificed. That's about, 100 per year at least.
So what is this place? Did parents really bring their children here to be ritually slaughtered? Or is there a more benign explanation for the Tophet?
The Tophet is simply a separate place.
Buried in these special precincts.
Try and resolve the issue once and...
Anyway, they do all this science. They're basically saying that these people are barbarians, even though they had all this stuff, because look at this here. They killed their own children. We found child remains here, and they must have been sacrificing them to some god,
Moloch.
Yeah, Moloch. Yeah, and everybody is like evil, and this is what we're told to believe about black ancient societies. They were evil. So it's good.
But now, if you, as a black person, if you don't have access to abortion, you're disproportionately affected.
Right, and right now, even this video that will be watched, let's say this video here be watched 200 years from now. It's going to be, they're going to watch
ICE detention center, you're incarcerated, or you're in.
Black people really enjoyed killing their children. Look how barbaric they were.
In a rural community in Ohio, everybody.
We supposedly live in a free country, but it has not been filled.
They fought to kill their children.
But the voices, unfortunately, those voices that we see talking will be the ones given the airtime. Exactly. Because there are many. I believe they're outnumbered, and that is why they took Roe versus Wade to the courts versus putting it on the ballot so the people could vote. Because if the people had voted, just like when Proposition 8 came up in California, it was black people who stopped that from happening. Not anybody else, not any other group.
But we're extremists. And they got a
So now being normal is extreme?
Right, and you sit up here.
We see that indeed, that truly is.
In the North, the biggest fear was
American Eugenics Society, a director of the American Birth Control League, and a writer for the Birth Control Review.
Y'all killing yourself. You see that name there, Lothrop Stoddard, the American Eugenics Society? This is that guy You know, like I said, if we kept track of stuff, this stuff wouldn't be so hard to prove. But that's Lothrop Stoddard. He's like the rising tide of color. He writing a book. He's dealing against white world supremacy. So that's why people talking about white supremacy. Oh, there's no white supremacy. The man wrote the book here.
He's seeing it coming.
The man wrote the book.
They have to die.
Right. This is their objective. And it's not every single individual white person, because they did want to kill some of those white people too. But
because they didn't consider them white until it was necessary.
Right. And but the point is this: you got this out here. So, and they're not just they're not run-of-the-mill people. They're very professional people. So it's not like you can, you know, they're not. But nowadays we got our sisters falling for this. If we so dumb we falling for this, you know, what can we do?
Talk about sleeping with the enemy.
What can we do? You falling for this? Come on.
Was that Tangy?
yeah, Tangy. But that's what they doing. Let's end it off on this, and then we about to conclude the show a little bit. Did you pay attention to this?
Behind me on the DJ table is one of the most prolific producers that hip hop has ever presented, the mighty Mad Lib. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for hip hop history.
Boy, he didn't play any football growing up.
No.
Wow.
I am going to kill that.
Dave Chappelle, if you would have heard that without the bleeping out, he was like, I am going to kill that nigga.
It sounds like the blind black white supremacist.
with the heart.
He slipped into character, did he?
With the hard R. Yup, he went right back to the daggone he was a blind white black supremacist.
It just came over. Kill that nigga lover.
That's what he said. He's like, I am going to kill that nigga.
Wait, I gotta see this.
You take man.
Thank God that was clumsy. He's back there getting stomped.
Is that a lawsuit?
Where did that come from? Thank you, son.
How y'all get that video?
It was a.
Well, TMZ, they allow certain cameras because they film everything. They probably release this part.
And they make you I haven't gone to one of these shows. I have a friend who went to one in Minneapolis, and you got to give up your phone.
Right. They said that now they make them put it in this special bag.
Yeah.
It's a special bag that he has that you get your phone, but you can't open it, and they give you the key when you leave. So you still have your phone on you.
That's censorship.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, I mean, I can kind of understand some of it, but I mean, that's what's up. I mean, this
Look,
they,
protect your product, but that's somewhat going over the top.
well, I mean,
Somewhat.
I don't know. I don't know. That's the world we living in, so I don't know. I kind of agree with that to a degree because he's going to say a lot of stuff and he wants to kind of control it because that's they people kind of sell it and everything, but I think they wanted to. But obviously, that was the community that wanted to turn everybody to eugenics. He had this on him.
Yes. How do you get that in there?
See, that's another thing. But he probably wasn't. He see somebody probably set it up, but he probably didn't. I don't know if he might have lost nerve to do it. He probably was supposed to go up there and stab Dave.
But they haven't charged him.
Well, they're not going to charge him exactly, and that's the thing people was mad about because they're like, "What?" Yeah, they were like, "Hold on, let me see. I thought I had that set up." Yeah, they're not going to charge him. Nope, they ain't going to charge him. Nope, they're like, nope.
He must be related to Will Smith.
Well, then they said Chris Rock came on there and was like, is that Will Smith? I mean, this man had a weapon. No charges would be filed. They just gonna let him, slide. He went on stage, assaulted. I mean, he had a deadly weapon. And there's no charges though. That's how they do it. That's what's up. That's what they do. And I mean, but it is what it is. I mean, they twisted him up pretty good. I don't even have to pick. But,
yeah, he caught the beat down.
I mean, they broke his arm bad. Somebody used a karate move on him. They used a jiu-jitsu move. They twisted his arm backwards.
Ouch. That's gonna leave a mark.
Yeah, they twisted his arm backwards. So it is what it is. But oh yeah, I forgot you posted this. I'm gonna put this one up. What do you think about this Elon Musk, Bill Gates thing? Because Bill Gates is warning everybody about Elon Musk.
As if he shouldn't be warned about himself.
Yeah, they got.
I mean, it's just two rich guys.
What does that mean to you? Seriously, on a serious tip, though, like these are billionaires. Both of them have some influence. I don't trust neither one. But if you got Bill Gates says Elon Musk could make Twitter worse. He issues a huge warning to users. We got to listen to Bill Gates, even though we don't, of course, trust him, obey him, or nothing like that. But I listened to him because by the time he done talked, he's doing something. You know what I'm saying? That a guy like Bill Gates, it's just like when he goes up there and he goes in front of the World Health Organizations and he starts talking about the future is, and there'll be
more pandemics.
More pandemics, and the next time we have to get a little bit better. And then, see, by the time he done said something, probably 2 months prior to that, there was, orders being sent out. There was things set up. He's not gonna say nothing unless he set something up. So you got Tesla CEO now. Bill Gates. Now Tesla's supposed to be the richest. What's his name? Elon Musk. And Elon Musk comes back. Elon Musk calls for Epstein client list to be released and says someone should go down.
Someone. It should be more than one someone.
Yeah, but why would Elon Musk say it that way? Because really on that list, he's issuing a warning himself. See, Bill Gates came straight out. And Epstein is like, Elon Musk was like, oh, I haven't really prepared my thing, so I'm not going to go straight yet. But this is what I'm going to do. Because if they say something, they already have resources behind finding out, investigating.
Yeah, I mean that information is already out there though. Just like Hunter Biden's laptop, that information is already out there, and those who know that Bill Gates visited St. James, Pedo Island. He took the Lolita Express, just like Bill Clinton.
Oh,
He's been out there, and Prince Andrew, he's been defrocked, although he doesn't have to go work 40 hours a week like me and you,
right.
But he's excommunicado as far as the royalty is concerned. They're not inviting him to parties anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these people, I mean, it's what we dealing with in the world. So I'm just like, we need to kind of be aware. But really, to me, they're going to really take themselves down. That's the reason why I don't mind spending time on when they say. I mean, I understand it's certain stuff is considered distractions, but to me, it's like this: the way we deal with each other is actually more important than necessarily. I ain't gonna say not paying attention, but worrying about Bill Gates. And we pay attention because we want to know what trick he's coming up with next.
Yes,
but it's not like, but he's being actually taken care of, because to me, Satan is fighting Satan. That's what we see. Versus thing.
A house divided against itself cannot stand.
Right. So the thing is, we are divided at this moment, and we want to stand. So when we dealing with these topics like Will Smith smacking people, or just dealing with the Kevin Sandals, how you address people, how you talk to people, is, to me, it's not a lightweight topic, because to me it's actually more important to like our daily life, because these are the kind of subjects that we need to understand so that we can actually get along with each other. As far as when you have arguments and problems, there needs to be some sort of, it's like, dang, bro, there's a certain there's a certain procedure, there's a certain culture on how it's dealt with. You don't talk to women a certain way. You can say the same thing, but
yes.
I don't believe that we can talk to women the same way we can talk to men.
Cynthia Cooper Dyke might disagree with you on that.
Well, yeah, they will, but yeah, I'm not talking about because that basketball coach.
Yes, and I think she was trying to give them some tough, straight love.
That's how men get talked to in games, and she probably was, she probably heard that, and maybe that's what she decided to try to do. But all of this,
but it's probably no different than what's happened before. It's just we weren't privy to those conversations, but the same people who likely have no issue with that will be the same people who will have an issue with what Trump said to Billy Bush. And Trump derangement syndrome is real. That's not a defense of him or anything like that. We're talking about the people that is affected by it. I mean, there is a such thing as locker room talk. There are conversations that happen between men, and there are conversations that happen between women that can get off color.
Right.
But in no way describes the whole of men or women in each situation. I mean, you don't have locker room talk with females at work. like you
Right.
would with a
That's what I'm
dude.
talking about, because I'll say it like this. In any industry, you can run that industry a certain way when it's just mainly men working there. And even if, let's say it's office where it's mainly women working there, there will be certain conversations that will be random, normal. But once one woman goes into that situation, like you know, I don't know if you have a tool, like we have tools, you know, side cutters, we call them, or diagonal pliers. You ever heard of those?
Yes.
Now in the field, we call them a dike.
Yes.
Okay. We're not supposed to do that no more.
Which is BS, because you're not talking about dikes. You're talking about, let me get them dikes.
You can't say it. Can't say it. And you can actually get in trouble at work if you referring to those things like that. Now, a lot of guys, when it's just guys on the job, yeah, we do it. But we naturally change our conversation. Let's say there's a woman working on a profession, and she might be kind of cool on some stuff. She might try her best to kind of, you know, be just a brother, you know, just with the fellas and everything. And she probably do a pretty good job. But there's still certain stuff you can't talk about because she there. and I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I think there is a certain respect that should be given simply because there is a difference. There's a difference. It's a gender. It's not a better or worse. That's what I mean. A difference is not a better or worse. And the woman, they have a certain temperament. They got a bunch of estrogen coursing through their bloodstream. Okay, we don't got that. And
yeah, they auntie come see him once a month.
Right. So it's like, listen here, bro. Like, and I understand all of the practical, logical reasonings why this should not be, that should not. But this is how it is, man. You know, these people got all this estrogen going through them. We don't got that. It's certain stuff that it really just messes them up when they hear it. They really get crazy. They can't take it.
And that's what I was saying earlier about, you know, being honest with my wife, that I know there are certain things that she cannot handle.
Right.
And that's why Lord said that. And some women will take offense to this instead of just understanding that it's a fact that they are the weaker vessel. That's not to demean you. That's just understanding what your role is. And even in being the weaker vessel, the Lord gave them the responsibility of having children.
Right. And see, because that's what I was going to get to. We have to be careful with the way we understand this word weak, because it's not sum total, because they are actually stronger than us in some categories. And generally, in some categories, you cannot beat a woman in nurturing. If she wants to be it's like, you're not going to win.
You can't out nurture her.
if that's the competition. If the competition is, like you said, having no, you're not going to win there. Even there's some general situations women tend to do better than a lot of men, as far as when understanding subtle like little, you know, like faces, and when kids tripping. Men, a lot of times we like, man, just no, you do what I tell you. You know, we force it to happen, and the woman be just sitting on the side. Hold on. Let me talk to him. Hey, baby, what's happening, baby?
Look, they can out breastfeed us.
Come here, baby. Come here, baby. And she get that behavior to change in a much more intelligent manner than us. You know?
The same can be said with in female cop situations.
Yes, we can. And then, of course, yes. So that's my point when we're dealing with weakness. We got complementary natures. So if we're understanding weaker vessels, now, of course, general strength, come on now. Yeah, we got more testosterone than them. If we want to look at weaker in this manner, then even the women would agree. But we don't want to. I think that when we communicate with women, we have to look at them as, when I say equal, I'm not saying the same, okay? But they are a decision maker. Now, if we're on our game as a man, then we will be the final decision maker. But when we kind of use our brute force all the time, shut up, no, okay, now it's not the time for you to be talking. You're almost like they're not children, okay? See, that's the difference. Like a woman is not your child. She can make decisions. And this is one thing, and you have to respect truth. And the thing is, as a man, wisdom will come into your mind, and you will not feel a sense of demasculinization, especially if your woman does it the right way. She see you messing up a little bit, she don't embarrass you. And later on, she say, hey, baby, you know, this, yada, yada, you could have did this, that. Now, you know in your heart she telling the truth. If you still act a fool, now it's on you. Now you messing up. Because that's what God sent to you. He sent to you a different set of eyes, right? You can see it a different way that we can't really necessarily see it, but also with her too. Because our women now, they have a bunch of pride. We be right as I don't know what.
Yeah,
baby. And look. You can't do it like this. Please let me handle this. No, I don't feel. And they get into their stuff. So we gotta, our language, like we gotta. If there's a certain thing about respect, you know, letting people play their lanes, not making people, you know, all of that stuff has to be in to me, it's important. It's very important because if your enemy, if the serpent can go, he don't have to go straight to Adam. If he can make a language that goes straight to Eve and then mess everybody up, why don't you know? Look, hey, hold on, Eve.
But that's why he went to Eve.
But the thing is, but what was that lesson put there for us to learn?
Don't leave our woman alone.
Yes. How do we prevent that?
Because when they were separated, there was a separation there.
See that? Separation, and more than just physical separation. But also, you see how they separate us. You see how the enemy does? Roe versus Wade. You see this? You see the technique. You see the tactics and techniques. They looking right. They're getting right.
And that's why it's important that men and women understand their roles.
But respect, the role must be respected, and it must be understood as a place of honor. It's not to be the way they have this talk now is like the woman. That's why I'm careful with the weaker vessel talk, because it makes them feel like less than, like they don't matter. They're not a decision maker. And you see how they separate you. Women,
but that's because they don't understand their role. If they understand their role, they should not view it that way.
But you gotta communicate it in a way where it has to not only understand it, but it has to be embraced as a thing of honor. You see what I'm saying? Because if they can separate the agenda of the woman from the agenda of the men, now here comes Satan. What's up, Eve? And he gonna tear everything up. It's over and over again. And this is the lessons we ain't getting it. We not getting it. It's sitting right there. And seeing it. Some of these people, they doing these things. They're taking the lesson and then they come up with a policy. That's how they do it. That's how they do it.
I had to tell a sister that, and she was all about the women's lib and all that. Even though she's married, has a daughter that her husband and her raised well. But I had to tell her that, if someone is trying to break in the house, you expect your husband to be in the bed in the back and you and your daughter walk to the door?
Well, you can't. Sometimes you can't use, as we see with this type of women, the way they got their minds all switched up and twisted. you can't use straight logic.
And that's what and that's why I talk to my daughters, so they understand that you have to use logic.
Well, the thing is, though, I'm saying
you can't operate on emotion every time. There are times to be emotional, but you have to think clearly in those moments as best you can.
right. That's true. But at the same time, there is stuff that they can't see. They literally can't see, and we can literally see it right there. And we surprised, like, dude, you can't see. I'm gonna make, and they start getting emotional.
Yes.
And when you're emotional, you're blind in those moments. And then as we start raising our voice, the emotion in them starts to raise, and then they become even more blind. And that's why I say to brothers too, and I say this to the brothers because I've done this many times. I got a wife too. Shoot, I know what's up, and I've used this, and I see it. I see it happen. It's not just my wife; it's with my sister. With all
yes,
like when women get emotional, you have to stop.
Yeah. And that's why I said it's some things that they cannot handle.
And the way you do it is, you got to do something where they feel. It's about feelings in that moment. It ain't about logic. You got to do something where they feel you on their side. Like you got to commute, baby, I love you. Something that makes them feel relaxed.
I find this to work with my wife, and maybe it can help some out there as well.
Right.
I've said to her when we're in those heated discussions that I'm not your enemy. I gave you my last name. That is not a light thing. Anyone that is serious about their marriage, I hope that can help them. Because
But one thing I know too, that, and I've done that too, but I noticed this. It's about feelings, and feelings always do not make sense. And I learned this probably good. I've been married 17 years, so it's probably a good 5 years ago. I was like, oh, this is how it's done. It works better. It's like, look, once you understand it's about feelings at a certain moment, stop the logic, because the logic is irritating a lot of times. And this is general.
Because it makes sense and they don't want to accept
it makes sense to you, but it's something we're not seeing. Okay, and that's what they're mad about, because it's something they can't explain it. And true, technically you're right, but it's almost like this. I'll explain it like this. It's like, okay, for a fact that you need to, I don't know if I don't smoke cigarettes, but let's say you decide you're going to fast or something, or you're not going to eat a certain food anymore, beef or something. Now, you told yourself you ain't going to do it, but here's the opportunity. Here's the burger. Here's the cigarette. Here's
the moment of truth.
Right. The feeling comes into you that contradicts what your logic brain has told you. You see, that's what a lot of times is happening. And they have, like I said, they got a lot more natural estrogen. And that's a lot of times why women, they're very sensitive on feelings. Men be like, okay, here's the plan. This is what we're going to do. We got to get this bills in order. We got to get this together. We got to take, because this is a problem that's going to hurt us. And the woman's like, I don't want to leave I like this house. That.
Yeah.
They into feelings, and you like, oh my God. Now, there's sometimes if it's an emergency, there's a certain point where the men have to just go ahead and put his foot down, and later but you can't ignore that feeling thing, because you got to make up for it. You got to make up for it, because otherwise it'll be like a little demerit.
They'll keep that one to pull it out later.
Yeah.
But that's because when the emotions go up, the IQ goes down.
Exactly. And that's in that moment, yes, you cannot hear properly. That's the reason why, that's one of the lessons that And brothers, I don't think brothers you shouldn't feel no kind of weight, especially to your wife. It's like you said, somebody you dedicated. It's like, bro, like you cannot what they call that submit or I guess feel like you're losing if you go ahead and give her away, let her, if it's something, let her have her way for a minute, this way or that way. It's like, yeah, it's nothing wrong with that. Calm down. Stop making a competition trying to enforce. Just let people, but that way you building trust. So.
But in those moments at times it's hard to watch someone fall.
Right.
Especially when you
yeah,
can
it
help
depends
them.
on what it is. It depends on what it is. True. It depends on like how serious it is. So I mean, I'll just make it personal with me. I don't drink, but when me and my wife got together, neither one of us drunk, but she decided to want to, I guess, start drinking a little bit, which I didn't like. And she knew I didn't like it. So, but I didn't overly make a big deal of it. I was hey, there's still some choice that's yours, a certain choice. But over a little period of time, she just kind of stopped. You know what I mean? So, but if I would have made it a big deal, like, no, hell no, you know what I'm saying? This is what, if I would have made it like I needed to be done immediately, otherwise some ultimatum situation.
Yeah.
And, then it would have been, I don't think it would have turned out better like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's like we got to understand, like, true enough, these are the type of topics that they're not necessarily exciting. I don't necessarily look at them as, necessarily distractions, because to me, the home, that institution that you call that marriage, that household, is like that is more important than Ukraine, immigration, Trump, Obama. True enough, those things do affect us. But if we keep that good old family institution good, we can make moves and we'll survive all that stuff. A lot of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? That to me is the most direct, because if you got the woman and the man are influencing the children, now you got them both on the same page, then guess what? It's going to be more likely. It's just going to give the children a better chance. So we about to get about. So what's your, final thoughts on some of the subjects and what we got going on? I'm about to start setting up on the outgoing tip.
Oh man. People had to have their eyes open and be more receptive to the truth, because it's some lunacy out here. When you have people marching to champion death, there's a serious schism in society. And those that are marching for are completely convinced that, and that's not to say they can't turn away from it, but it's almost like the Medusa effect.
Mm-hmm.
And they're blinded by it, but I just pray that eyes are opened, because society, black, white, whatever, can't survive without offspring.
Right. You gotta pay attention to your children. They should be honored. And then your woman, because she's making the children, and if the woman hold hatred for children, that's like so crazy.
Yes.
That's as like a woman is like the children is that child. If it's a choice between a man standing there, even if he don't even know neither one of them, the child is gonna run to the woman probably, just off of instinct. And she could be a murderer, but just a child. You don't.
Susan Smith.
Right. Now it's just like a woman wouldn't do this to this. This is a mama.
Casey Anthony.
Right. Yeah. This is what's out here though. But it's like, but the thing is though, women should be more empathetic, especially to children. But
no doubt.
That's what we don't have today because we got that separation. I guess the serpent then got up in there. They started listening to Miss Hillary and Sanger more. And they want to kill the babies. But that's pretty much it, guys. And thanks, Leroy, for coming up. Anybody, go ahead and press the like button. Make sure you make a comment and do your thing and spread it, everything. All right, y'all. Peace out. I'm out.
In Detroit.